Confusion around eligibility criteria for the national side. Goal shoot Grayson Weke and skipper Emiliano Ekenasio were under the impression players needed 100 caps for an exemption to sign both offshore and represent New Zealand, but the governing body have stressed that's not the case. Weke is currently ineligible for the Silver Ferns because she's playing in Australia. Stanley says past examples may have led to assumptions.
It just happens to be the two that got the exemption to play in the Australian League a few years ago, Laura Langman and Maria Folau. They had played 100 caps, so I think maybe it just got a little bit lost in translation.
Netball coverage with the ANZ Premiership. Catch the action live from May 10. The Boomers have beaten the Tall Blacks 80-68 in the opening international of their three-match basketball series in Adelaide. Earlier, the Opals defeated the Tall Ferns 88-70. Blues coach Vern Cotter is throwing his support behind loose forward Cam Suafoa following his second cancer diagnosis. The 27-year-old had surgery to remove another tumour after the return of his sarcoma in March. Cotter has commended Suafoa's courage.
Yeah, it's been long and arduous for him. So him and his partner and friends and family, we feel for them, and such a brave man. And that's life outside and in the game. Sort of a good dose of perspective and reality there.
And the Lions squad to tour Australia will be named tomorrow in London, with Maro Itoje expected to earn the captaincy. I'm Andrew Alderson, and that's Newstalk ZB News and Sport to 8:05.
Newstalk ZB Auckland. Time saver.
St Piers, Westfield, Albany opening today. Now we've got a fire on Taniwha Road in Glen Innes causing delays on Aparana Avenue. If you can update us, so 800 jammed. Congested coming in on the Southern Motorway Papakura through to Green Lane. Northwestern heavy but moving citybound from Hobsonville. The northern slow through Silverdale, bumper to bumper from Greville. St Piers, Westfield, Albany. The first 400 visitors from 11 a.m. will enjoy a free sushi pack. Ivanka Zonic for Time Saver Traffic.
Newstalk ZB Weather Watch 24/7 with Chemdry Flood Restoration, qualified professionals, rapid drying, trusted across New Zealand. Manukau easterly 10 knots, rising to northeast 15 this morning. Waitemata northeast 10, rising to 15, then to 20 by the afternoon. And a strong wind advisory, Hodaki gale for Breamhead to Cape Colville. The high tide at Auckland 4:30 this afternoon. Onehunga 8 o'clock tonight. Auckland today, a few showers, possibly heavy, becoming more frequent in the evening. Tomorrow, rain with heavy falls, easing to showers in the afternoon. And ahead to Saturday, look forward to fine weather. Today's high 21, currently it's 15, here at Newstalk ZB.
Setting the agenda and talking the big issues. The Mike Hosking Breakfast with Arvida Retirement Communities. Life your way. Newstalk ZB.
8:07, the national airline this week, like it is most week, is in the news. Nicola Willis, who met with them, I think, yesterday, or was supposed to meet with them yesterday, isn't against a market study, apparently. James Meagher, a new minister for the South Island, waxed lyrical last week about the government helping them out on regional routes in terms of pricing. There are issues around planes and engines and our folklore, of course. And amidst all of this, the CEO, Greg Foran, announced he is leaving. And I think pretty much he's talking to us for the first time. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Mike.
Is it one of those weird things where you know when you're leaving, or did you arrive knowing when you would leave because CEOs last 5 years, 7 years, whatever it is?
Yeah, look, I had in the back of my mind I'd probably do about 5 to 6 years with Air New Zealand. There's other things that I'm keen to do, and you know, when I took the job, I had said to the board, to Therese, by the way, an incredible chair, one of the best I've worked with, I said to her, probably get me for about 5 to 6 years. And as we've gone through that period, you know, I've kept her abreast of my thinking. And then, you know, come March, I said, right, now's about the time. I want to give you a lengthy run-in period. That suited her, suited the company. So I'm here to the end of October.
Would you recommend the job to people?
Yes, I would. It has been one of the peak learning experiences I have had, Mike. Not easy, and, you know, I've had my share of niggles that I've had to deal with and continue to. Yeah. But I would say to you, I am a far better leader today than what I was before I took the job. And, you know, I had a reasonable job before I came and did this one. But honestly, I would be much better running Walmart US today from what I have learnt being at Air New Zealand than what I was when I took that job 11 years ago.
You can't have known what you would have to wade through when you came here, can you?
I had no idea. I had not heard of COVID when I got the job. It hadn't, surfaced at that point. I think we first heard about it about November 2019. I got the job, I think, probably about October. So I had no idea that, we would stop the first flight on the very first day that I started in the company. It was ironic. I was in Rotorua yesterday. I was talking to the team at the airport. Some of the team were there on the Saturday before we shut the country down, and we were reminiscing that I got a telephone call from Jacinda on that Saturday giving me a heads up that she was probably looking to close the borders. I think we closed them on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
But on that Saturday, I got a call, and here I was yesterday reminiscing with the team that, just over 5 years ago that was going to happen.
Did you feel unlucky in the sense you could have gone, say, to Fisher & Paykel Healthcare and got into masks and respirators, and COVID would have been fantastic? Airlines was not the business to be in for COVID.
Look, I think there are certainly some days when I get up and I'm having a shave before I come to work, and I'm thinking about Rolls-Royce and Pratt & Whitney or capital raises or those sort of things. But you have to put those at the back of your mind, and you have to play the hand that you've got dealt. And I tend to be pretty optimistic about things, balanced, but optimistic. I play a long game. I know that I have short-term issues that I have to deal with. I have to deal with what's the on-time performance today and cancellations and refunds and those sort of things. But fundamentally, my job here was to build on the legacy that I had inherited. And that's what I've set about doing. We want to grow our domestic business. We want to enhance our international business. We want to take our loyalty operation and drive that. And that plan still exists today, despite the niggles that I have to deal with. So I always keep the long term in mind, knowing that I'll have to deal with issues day to day. So that's how it operates.
It's interesting. My criticism of you, not that it matters, is when you announced your resignation, it came to me anyway at a time when the airline still got a lot of issues. You don't go, see all that stuff that was problematic, it's now fixed, see you later.
Yeah.
You leave at a time when there's more to do. Is that difficult to justify personally or not?
Well, of course, I, from my position, know a little bit more about what's coming down the pipeline and what's going to be here by the end of October. So I would say to you, I think the timing is actually pretty good. And why do I say that? For sure, there will be some issues that will still be ongoing for the next year and a half. But let's talk about the ones that are underway. We said that we needed to get retrofits done. The first one is going to fly in a week's time. We'll have 7 completed by the end of the year. We said we need new aircraft. Those aircraft are now literally going on the production line. They will be on the production line by October. We have what we call line fit numbers from Boeing. So I can sit here with confidence and say this time next year there's 2 new Boeing 787s coming, and likely another 2 by the end of next year. So I've wrestled that one to the ground. We've got a new hangar which is about to open in October. We have re-platformed just about every digital system in the business. And there are a host of things that have been done or are being done so that when I hand over in October, for sure, we'll still be dealing with some Rolls-Royce challenges, but I think that's at the bottom and starting to incrementally improve. We'll be dealing with Pratt & Whitney at the bottom, actually is improving now. So I actually am confident that, if you like, my run of the relay is about right.
Good stuff. Let's talk about tourism in a moment. Greg Foran's with us, 8:13.
Stay informed with Newstalk ZB and entertained with your music and your podcasts. Play Newstalk ZB on iHeartRadio.
Don't spend an hour cleaning your shower. Do it in a minute with Double Infusion.
Buying or selling gold or silver? Deal with the company that has a solid reputation. Regal Bullion. Trading for over 40 years and primary distributor for the Perth Mint. Regal Bullion. 0800 881 888.
Sunshine Coast. Couldn't put it any better. Sunshine Coast. But if you need more convincing, remember that our foodie scene is world class. Inside the Sunshine Pantry, you'll find an abundance of award-winning producers. Fly direct to the Sunshine Coast from Auckland with Jetstar all year round and dine out on deliciousness. Sunshine Coast. Says it all, really. Book today at jetstar.com.
Does your floor need an upgrade? Here's your chance to get the floors you love for less with Flooring Extra's affordable floor makeover sale. For a limited time, you can carpet your home from just $3,600. Plus enjoy up to 40% off a range of laminate, LVT and sheet vinyl. And to make it even easier, take advantage of our 24-month interest-free offer. So get inspired. Visit your locally owned Flooring Extra store today. TCs, fees and credit criteria apply.
Invest with Southern Cross Partners and enjoy a minimum 6.75% return paid monthly. With strong equity, your funds are secured by a first mortgage over New Zealand property. Start with a minimum investment of $10,000 or a lot more and supplement your lifestyle while growing your wealth. Southern Cross Partners has investment opportunities available now. At Southern Cross Partners, investors come and stay. Find out why. Go to southerncrosspartners.co.nz. Southern Cross Partners Limited is licensed to provide peer-to-peer lending services under the Financial Markets Conduct Act 2013.
If you're looking at your retirement living options, look no further than Karaka Lifestyle Estate.
Right now, the final 4 spacious, beautifully appointed Stanaway homes are available for immediate occupation.
Because of Karaka Lifestyle Estate's generous approach to capital gains, you'll not only enjoy your retirement, you'll also financially gain from it.
See for yourself at Karaka Lifestyle Estate Open Days, Friday 9th and Saturday 10th of May from 12 noon to 2 p.m.
Karaka Lifestyle Estate, more to gain.
Newstalk ZB, 16 past 8. Greg Foran is our guest. Couple of things just on tourism quickly. You said you're in Rotorua, the big tourism things going on. One of the announcements made by the government yesterday was one of the impediments to getting here visa-wise has been sorted out to a degree. I won't bore people with the details. But there seems to be, to me anyway, certain things, Chinese and India are a couple of good markets where we could be doing more than we are to get people here and make life easier. Is that fair?
It's coming back, is the way that I would put it. So, we were slow out of the blocks. China has been the market, it was our biggest. And if I spoke to you a few months ago, we were running at sort of circa 52% of pre-COVID. I think that number now, Mike, is back to about 67%. Getting rid of the translation fee takes sort of circa $100, $110 off the price of visas. These people are price conscious. I think you'll see incremental improvement. In total, we're back to about 87% of pre-COVID. The US is over 102.
Exactly.
So it's happening. I thought there was more energy at Trends than I have seen previously. I think there's a spring in everyone's step. And I think by this time next year, with a bit of luck, we'll be back over 100%.
And about time too.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's, 13-14 billion worth of income internationally. We need it. The country needs it. I absolutely get that it needs to be balanced. Queenstown, I think, is running at the moment about 115% of pre-COVID. So if you're talking to someone in Queenstown, they're probably saying, it's already too busy.
Yeah.
I get it. So let's be careful. Averages can be misleading, but in totality, we need tourism.
The market study that Nicola Willis talks of, just the overarching Air New Zealand are a bunch of bastards and rip us off. You say what?
I say fundamentally what we've been saying, and the Commerce Commission have come out and said, this is not a competition issue, it's structural. Now, we've had cost increases, just like everyone in New Zealand has cost increases. And trust me, I have empathy for that. My wife asked me to get some stuff from the supermarket last Saturday afternoon when I was finishing work. I remember prices from 6 years ago in Walmart. Boy, it's expensive. And I'm not having a shot at anyone. It's just costs have gone up, have for us too. What do we try and do with costs? We mitigate them. where we possibly can, and that's things like improving productivity and coming up with new methods and systems. We absorb some of them, and you see that in our guidance, which has had to come down. And where we can't, we have to pass them on. What do I mean by structural versus competition? You could put another airline into New Zealand, and by the way, they could come anytime they want. It's open skies. The prices will come down, but no one will make any money, and in 1 to 2 years, an airline will leave. Probably won't be Air New Zealand because it's 51% owned by the government, but the new airline will probably leave.
And history tells us this.
History tells us this. Why is that the case? Because we're about 1.5 times the size of Arkansas. We're small, and it is what it is. We get the benefit of living in a country with not so many people, but that means you don't get the benefit of scale. Australia, 27 million people, has but 2 airlines. Every time they try and open a third, the third one fails. New Zealand probably can only exist with one. Our job is to be fair to customers, fair to our staff, fair to the communities, and fair to the shareholders. And I think generally we thread that needle reasonably well. We're not, boosting up shareholder returns here at the expense of charging high prices.
Only got a minute left. Of all the stuff you've done, interesting that you're not retiring. No. So there's something to do. You don't know what that is. Don't know what that is, but open to all options and within reason location as well. Do you want to leave your number here and someone rings in? What have you learnt out of Air New Zealand that's good, bad, valuable or not compared with all the other stuff you've done?
I would say to you the thing that has struck me the most, which I knew but has been enhanced, is how important culture in businesses. And so I spend a lot of time, and I will continue to spend time, and I will do it in whatever I do next, ensuring that the culture in the business is what you want in order to achieve your plan and execute your results. So I spend a lot of time with our people, listening to them, listening to customers, ensuring that we represent what we should do in terms of our purpose and our values.
Is New Zealand a good place to do business?
It is. It can be difficult because of scale. We like at times to try and do probably too many things instead of saying, here are the 3 or 4 things that we're going to do incredibly well. But we have the ability to move at speed. And size can be an impediment and it can be an advantage. And one of the things I try and do with Air New Zealand when I'm overseas and I'm meeting with the big companies over there, and I'm not just talking Boeing or Airbus, but I was with OpenAI 4 weeks ago, Google DeepMind, we're working on things with them. Our sell position to them, Mike, is we're small, we can operate at speed, give us an opportunity, you can develop something with us, and then you can go and sell it to the big guys. Yeah, and it works.
Good stuff. We'll get you in before you finally leave, but appreciate your time for now as always.
Thank you, Mike.
Good to see you. Greg Foran, 8:22.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast with Bailey's Real Estate, Newstalk ZB. Newstalk ZB headlines.
Pay equity claim legislation passes through Parliament under urgency last night. Double murderer Mark Lundy reintegrates into the community after more than 25 years. Global powers should prepare for what's ahead as India launches strikes on Pakistan.